Hey y'all, what's going on? Happy Tuesday. Now, I never do videos like this, but I felt like I needed to speak on this because reading her post, I almost cried. And I feel like any woman who's been in a situation before where they realized there were double and triple standards, you know how it feels. So let's just go on and get into this, okay? So what happened today, I was minding my business, scrolling on Instagram, and I followed Chrisette Michelle, and so I saw that she posted this this article from, I think it's Jasmine Brand blog. And at first I had to make sure like whose page I was looking at this on, because I'm like, I know I say Chrisette Michelle, but is she posting this? Like, she don't post stuff like that. So at first I thought like maybe this was a sponsored post, but it was hers. And I'm gonna link the post that she put up. And so it was basically just talking about, is Chrisette Michelle still canceled 5 years later, basically from performing at the inaugural for the 45th president. And when I saw that, and they were comparing her to Travis Green and to Kanye, because Travis Green performed at the inaugural with her, same stage, same performance, and Kanye has been, and I will admit Kanye is still one of my favorite artists, but he's known for wearing a MAGA hat, he's known for standing beside the president, he's known for many things, right? And so they were basically just talking about like, yo, is that fair that she was canceled, she was thrown under the bus, and these two people seemingly have had greater and greater opportunities while she was casted off to the side. And so she posted and said, you know, I've never really talked about this. She was like, this is why I stopped doing interviews, because this was coming up a lot. She was like, I'm in a space where I really want to hear what y'all think. And so I commented and I said, listen, baby, and this is what I want to share with y'all. I feel like it's very arrogant for people to think that they can cancel anybody. You can't cancel anyone. Like, I get it. We came up with this thing called cancel culture, meaning like if enough people are not happy with what someone has done or what they've said, then that rally can get people's opportunities taken away. I get it and I got it. But a person does not have the ability to cancel another person. Even people who have been quote unquote canceled, it does not mean that every business deal stopped. It does not mean that people who love them and stuck with them stopped. You know what I'm saying? People can say they canceled Donald Trump. Literally where I live, people are still doing rallies around the corner for Donald Trump. I promise you, I'm not lying. They are still out here. Donald Trump probably don't even care no much. He probably somewhere basking in the sun. And these people out here still doing Trump rallies. So my point is, I just think it's so arrogant for people to think that just because you don't like somebody or you don't like what they did, that you can just cancel their life. Let me keep this clean. Like, who do you think you are? And so I commented, I was like, first of all, I never canceled you, ever. I've never canceled anybody. If I just don't like something, I just don't like it. I withdraw my energy and my money and I move on. I don't make it a big thing, which is why I was saying like, yo, this is interesting and I'm doing a video on this, because I typically don't. So I was like, I've never canceled you. For that matter, I've never canceled anybody. And I was like, I feel like people quote unquote canceled you because it made them feel powerful, not necessarily because you deserve that. And she didn't. If you follow Chrisette Michelle, if you heard any of her interviews that she did, you can tell that she literally thought that she could make a difference. She literally thought, I gotta do my hair because y'all see I keep messing with my hair in this video. She literally thought that amongst all the hate, she could stand in and be a difference maker. And she found out that it had an adverse effect, but that wasn't her intentions. And when she kept apologizing, I don't know what y'all was looking at, but I felt the sincerity. I didn't care. First of all, let me say this. I didn't care enough to be offended. If you got a problem with that, oh well. I just didn't care enough about it to even feel offended. That was her choice. You know what I mean? And so for people to cancel her, and she apologized 1,000,003 times, and then you have the people who they placed on the docket as far as other people who participated in with Trump. I didn't hear an apology at all. I love Kanye, don't get me wrong, but I didn't hear him apologize. Not saying he didn't. He probably did. But I ain't seen no apology. You feel what I'm saying? And it didn't stop no show. And so I just wanted to do this video for Chrisette Michelle. I'm not saying she's gonna say, I don't know if she is or not, but just to say, like, people who loved you for real never stopped loving you, and they knew that your character is not malicious. They knew that when you said what your intentions were, those were your intentions. And I'm sorry, sis, that you had to stand and go through that persecution by yourself, that there weren't enough people standing up for you amongst all the people tearing you down and trying to cancel you. I'm sorry that it's more acceptable for men to do certain things than it is for women, that men can be more forgiving in certain things than women. And as a woman, you know this is true, right? There are so many double standards. A man could have 80,723 women, get them all pregnant, and still be considered honorable. A female can have sex with 3 men in the course of 80 years and she's a hoe. So it's not fair. It's just not fair. And when I was writing that comment under her post, man, I just felt like crying. I felt like crying because everything that she went through. And you know what it made me think of? Like, literally while I'm explaining it, it made me think of, like, when Jesus was crucified, how he was put on a cross next to 2 thieves, two people who were actually guilty, and he was the one that was innocent. And I'm not saying that she was innocent. I'm saying that her motive was, that her intention was. And I'm just sick of the arrogance of people. And what's happened is this whole cancel culture has been weaponized. So now it's like people be looking for a reason to cancel you. Oh, what you say? What you say? Oh, I don't like what you say. I'm finna rally everybody and we're gonna cancel you. Go to bed. You know what I'm saying? Like now it's not even, before it was supposed to be based on morals and ethics, right? Like pull and call out people who were in Hollywood or who were in places and positions of power and they were abusing it. It was to free people who felt like they couldn't speak up for themselves. Or it was to bring justice to those who got away with murder, so to speak, for years. But now it's like it's just weaponized. The moment somebody put a lyric in their song you don't like, let's cancel them. The moment somebody say something you don't agree with, let's cancel them. Let's counsel, not cancel. Let's counsel. And I'm not saying that some people you shouldn't withdraw your support from. Absolutely. If you don't like them, leave. But this whole thing of everything has to be a rally, everything has to be a movement. When somebody says or does something that you don't like, I just don't agree with it. And if you guys can, you may not even follow Chrisette Michelle, but if you see this video, I would ask you to go to Instagram and leave her something beautiful. Leave her words of encouragement. You know what I'm saying? Buy something. Support her in some kind of way. Let her know that her music is still necessary. Her creativity, her person, her beauty. She's such a beautiful person. Spirit, energy. Like, she's still Chrisette Michelle. You know what I mean? But I know what it's like to feel like the world hates you. To feel like everybody's against you. So much so that you can't feel the love from people who really love you. So let's love on our sister and understand that we all need grace. We all need grace. That doesn't mean tolerate abuse. It doesn't mean tolerate things that are intolerable. But it means that, look, if it don't work for you, just keep it moving. I'm telling you, who do you think you are to try to cancel somebody? I would never say, like, oh, I'm canceling you. That sounds corny. It sounds so freaking corny. I may say, I'm not shopping here anymore, but I'm not finna start a rally or a sign-up sheet on Facebook to not shop at the nearest Whole Foods. I'm just not gonna do it. I'm not knocking you if that's what you wanna do. I'm talking about me. It's my channel, it's my video. I'm just not gonna do it. I'm gonna make my decision for myself. You get what I'm saying? It's like we wanna see people punished so bad. and so immediately for what they've done. But don't forget, you're going to need the same grace. You're going to need it. You know why? It's not an if. And we love to say, well, I wouldn't do people like that. Yeah, you may not fall short in a racism category. You may not fall short in a this was my good intentions, but I messed up category. You're going to fall short in another one, and you're going to need grace. And you're going to want people to see your heart instead of your deed. You're going to want people to hear what you're saying instead of looking at what you've done. You're going to want people to see who you've become instead of who you were. And but when you meet that crossroad, you're going to be reminded of the importance of grace. So I think that now is definitely a time of accountability. But when you hold someone accountable, that's the time to draw them in, to teach them. I'll leave you guys with this. My percussion teacher told me when I was an undergrad, he said, Tia, he said, well, he was speaking to the class, but felt like he was talking to me specifically. He said, when a person says something to you ignorantly, like just says something ignorant to you or judgmental to you, he said, that's not the time to get offended. He said, that's the moment to teach. He said, so if somebody comes to me and they say something to me ignorant about my belief in God, or maybe they're atheists and they say, oh, wow, you believe in Jesus? That's not real, or say something challenging. He said, that's my moment, not to defend myself, but to offer education, to offer insight. And so what I'm saying is, I feel like we're so hurt. We just want to see people hurt. We want to see people feel how we felt. And that's why I'm saying I don't think it's right for what people may have done to you, or what people may have said, or homophobic things that people have said that's hurt people who are homosexual, who are gay. I don't think that that's right, that they said those things and made you feel like you don't belong here, or you're less than, or just whatever's been said that made you have to grow this really, really thick skin. I'm sorry. And I didn't even do it, but I'm sorry that you had to go through that. We all have gone through some form of it. But what I am saying is that's the opportunity, and it's going to be tricky because it's also the opportunity where you can, where you can jab somebody, right? As soon as they get close enough, that's the time when you could reach for that, you understand me, and pop. That's when you can reach in and cut them and hurt them like they hurt you. So it absolutely takes a different mindset. It takes a different heart. And that when they get close enough to say, let me tell you how we're the same. And let me tell you how what you withhold from me, you are withholding from yourself. The very love you think I don't deserve, you'll never have it because you can't receive what you don't give. That's your moment to teach. And that's how we transform people. We don't just cancel them and throw them away, because some people are going to just become more of what they were out of spite of the canceling. But love and grace and understanding, I'm not saying these things are easy. They're not. They're not easy things, but they are powerful, they are potent, and they're principled, meaning it works. It works. And here's the catch. It may not work right away. And we do cancel culture. Why? Because you can see it like that. You want to see it today. It may not happen today. But just be confident in planting the seeds. So like I said, y'all, if you can, take a few seconds of your time, go to her page and just drop some love, stream her music, just do something and send it to her, or tag her in and then say, hey, just letting you know we love you. You've never been canceled. Man can't cancel you at all. And any mistakes that you've made, you're better for it. And we love you, okay? And so if you've ever felt canceled, if you've ever felt discarded, you are loved. And no one can throw you away because you're a precious thing, not made by man. You've come through man, okay? I love y'all. I'll see you soon. Peace.